I don't know how it felt at that time, whether it felt the same way, but I went to an all-boys school. So I went to Queen Elizabeth's boys' school in Barnet. And I used to take like a 45-minute bus or to an hour bus sometimes just to get there every day. My parents had worked really hard for me to prepare for exams to get into this school, and it wasn't private, but it was a great education. And at the time, it's like all of us didn't want to go there because it was so strict. It was so like disciplined. But I found a few teachers there that kind of had this openness. And so I had my art teacher at the time, Mr. Buckeridge, who's still there, I believe, and we keep in touch now and again, but he just helped me think so differently. So in this space where there were like rules and discipline, there was a teacher who just kind of just knew how to navigate enough where you were in the rules, but not too much. And he helped me so much with my thought process and my mindset. And now when I look back, I'm really grateful that I have this really beautiful experience where I feel like I have equal parts discipline and equal parts artistry. And I really embrace those two sides. I was wondering with you, like
you're right. You're very right. Actually, you're really right about that. That there is that sort of like tandem of discipline and artistry. My favorite music teacher, actually my music teacher and a French teacher, for some reason sort of stuck to me, Miss Rycroft and Madame Chesley. They both just wanted me to blossom as a creative. Madame Chesley wouldn't let me get away without speaking some sort of French to her all the time. And now I love the language very much so. And Miss Rycroft made me learn every kind of instruments I could possibly put my hands on and sing everything I could possibly sing. But it also gave me the discipline of wanting to learn, wanting to be as good as I want to be at these particular subjects. And you're right in that there is a wonderful sort of melding of creativity and discipline that has definitely influenced how I live and how I've lived so far.
Yeah, I was thinking that with you because when you brought up running, you've got to be really disciplined. And when I see your stories or posts with you running, I'm like, I'm in anxiety. Like, I'm like, I am so glad. I was like, I'm becoming friends with Cynthia, I hope. But as long as she doesn't invite me on a run, we're good. Like, if she wants to do a hike, I could do that. But it's like it requires so much discipline, so much energy. And let's talk about running first, and then we'll move into your artistry. But when you look at how much you're running, you just said you run a half marathon.
Ran a half marathon over the weekend. And then every day is about 8 miles, except for today, which is supposed to be a break day. So I did 5K. And then on the weekend, it's 16 to 18.
And how do you find time for this in between roles and prep? And like, or is this something that continues on?
It just goes on.
That's incredible.
I do it I've been running since I was 20. My first marathon was 2016. I think I had one mini break in between. I remember I was in Atlanta and just decided, let me get back to it, and haven't stopped since then. It's an ongoing journey that teaches you about discipline, your stamina, how your mind works, how you psych yourself out sometimes, how you can buoy yourself and lift yourself up. And I gained so much from it. Believe me, there are days when I do not want to get outside or on a treadmill and do any of it. But that also is a moment for me to sort of learn. There are days when, yes, it's good to stop, take a second and not do the run today. But other days it's, how can I overcome this moment where I'm like truly not wanting to do it? And those days when I'm able to overcome those moments when I'm like, I do not want to do this, often are the days when the runs are the best, which is very strange. But I love it. It has provided space to think. It's provided moments where I've made friends along the way. People are now used to seeing me do certain routes. So I always bump into people and I say hello, and it gives me a lot. The physical aspect is, yes, your body loves it. It's great to work out, but it's more a mental thing than anything else. Distance running really is more mental than physical, because once your physical is done, if you get to 18 past half marathon, it really is sort of like, okay, mind, how will you get past the rest of this?
Yeah.
And that's always a really wonderful sort of adventure.
Yeah.